New Orleans. What? I know quite a few of the ones that Mohammed did, but Pete did a couple. I can remember. Like I know I did the Wildcat show, the WrestleCon Super Show, Crash. I skipped the Rev Pro show. Did the Impact versus Lucha Underground, which both attended. Of course, you know the WWE shows like WrestleMania, TakeOver, Raw, and SmackDown. And then I also did Revolver. Skipped the Combat Zone show, but then did House of Hardcore also that night as well. Didn't really do anything like Access. Went to the Superstore and stuff, obviously, but those were like the main shows that I did that weekend. How about you guys in New Orleans?
I just did that one, the one that Del Rio was supposed to be on, but I had to leave Underground. He said he wasn't well. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah. You know, I wish I'd have stayed, but obviously I can't say to him, "Oh, you don't feel well." You know, I'll see you later. I had to,
it's a good friend.
Go with him, but and just doing my bit. But also I remember we did the trip on the bayou, the crocodile thing.
Yeah.
Did that as well. That's pretty cool. And I know that was the shirt you was wearing for that, Joe. That was where I was going to point that out.
This one here?
When we got there. Yeah. Yeah. It's weird how you remember little things like that.
Actually, it makes sense because that would have been on Tuesday, and I was wearing this because New Day was on SmackDown. So yeah, it actually does make sense.
Yeah. But other than that, it was just that one for as little as time I was there. But again, I wasn't on the indie scene back then. I've learned a lot since then. So next year, gonna do it big.
Yeah, you met a big
any shows.
You met a big star in 2018 at WrestleCon, didn't you, Pete?
Remind me again who that was.
They celebrated his week a week ago. A big marquee star. Guy who carried guy who carried the company.
Oh, Stone Cold. Yeah. Oh, that guy. I remember him. We almost missed the opening of WrestleMania because
what was that?
Because he was late.
Yeah.
Incredible. It's once in a lifetime opportunity for me. Although it just reminded me of it. Yeah, he was running late or something. Something happened, and it was kind of like, guys, if you want your money back, you can have it, or you can wait.
Of WrestleMania, right?
And people were leaving. I was like, oh shit, what do I do? Because it wasn't exactly like round the corner. It was a journey, you know what I mean, to get to WrestleMania from there. So, but I was like, no, I'm sorry, I might miss the pre-show, but this is Stone Cold. I'm going to get to shake Stone Cold's hand. I don't feel I'll ever get this opportunity. So Ollie was a bit like, I think I might go. And I was like, well, whatever you do, I am staying in this queue. I'm going to meet Stone Cold. And I'm glad I did. The only thing I wish I had something better for him to sign. I remember there was a stall and he was selling like old WF figures in box. And I've seen an old WF Stone Cold one. I was like, yeah, that'll do. But I wish I had the money to get like a smoking skull belt or something really cool for him to sign. But, finances and everything, it was just one of them. I was like, well, still cool, so I'll figure I'll get him to sign that.
Still getting a Steve Austin signature is getting a Steve Austin signature. It's not.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Not very often you could get one of them nowadays.
Yeah.
In person, of course.
34, WrestleMania 34. WrestleMania 34 is by far my favorite WrestleMania week. As far as I can go. This is by the time we had established we had people there. I was between wrestling shows, I was hanging with you fine gentlemen, and amongst others. It's in New Orleans, which, like, I don't know if I've mentioned this before, maybe a couple of hundred times to you guys in past, but New Orleans is my favorite American city. It's my favorite.
I love
city.
it.
I'll second that.
Yeah.
I'll second that.
Yeah, even
Bourbon Street.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
strangely enough, Bourbon Street is my least favorite part of New Orleans, but that's
Yeah, I guess that bit with you, Mel. But for me, who likes to partake in a beverage now and again, it's right up my alley. So,
And as far as New Orleans goes, group MVS that we keep talking about, most of the people in that group are
from New Orleans.
in New Orleans, and my ticket for WrestleMania was supposed to be shipped to my house 3 days before WrestleMania. I was like, shit, that ain't gonna work because I'm not gonna be home to get those tickets. So two dudes who I had never met before, but I had talked to online for 4 years, Brandon Frazier, and one guy who gets brought up a lot on this podcast. Some little fucking troll motherfucker, Walter Sylvie.
By that time, he wasn't like full troll yet. He hadn't.
no.
You know, we were not feeding him. We were not feeding him after midnight and not getting him wet. So he was like, he was good by then. It wasn't like a full gremlin.
I messaged both of those dudes, and they're both like, "Yeah, just send him to my place, and I'll get him to you." And Walter, I knew for sure I was meeting as soon as I got there because he was going to the same show I was. But it's just like walking up, and so I see this little short dude walking up to me and hands me my tickets. I'm like, oh, all right, cool. I got this WrestleMania ticket here now from this dude who easily could have sold these to anybody else.
Yeah.
But here we are.
Yeah, but there's a trust system again. Now, I will say Walter was also the reason I joined the MBS group. So, like, in a way, he's responsible for this podcast, or he's a small part of it. Yeah, but like, I'm not gonna give him too much credit. It's
Small part.
Yeah, he's very small. Like, I'm pretty sure this was meant to be the way he was just, the
SS.
yeah. But
But the overall vibe of New Orleans is perfect because you can walk pretty much everywhere. Like
anywhere,
from where my Airbnb was or hotel from where my hotel was to like the superstore and everything was like a 5-minute walk from my hotel to WrestleCon's wrestling events where it was like a 10-minute walk. Like everything was super close together, unless it's like late night and tired and want to walk. You don't even necessarily need to take like a streetcar or anything anywhere because everything is so close together.
Right. It's the best city for WrestleMania week is probably New Orleans because everything is close. Everything you can actually manage doing several shows on the same day, even if they're different venues. The Sugar Mill, where they had the WrestleCon shows, was right across from Axis.
Yeah.
Because I remember, like, night one of the WrestleMania festivities, I had triple booked myself. Triple book. I had Paul Heyman's one-man show, Goldberg at Axis, and the WrestleCon Super Show. You okay there, Pete?
No, I thought I heard it's a bit windy here. So.
Yeah.
Because I remember you got to the Super Show like maybe 2 matches in. I want to say
I walked in just as Jerry Lawler was coming in, so I went to the Paul Heyman thing because the photo op was before it. So I got my photo with Heyman, chatted with him a little bit. He's real nice. I had a parody shirt going in that was, instead of Better Call Saul, it was Better Call Paul, and he actually popped for it because he loves Better Call Saul a lot. And knowing now that his father was a lawyer, he's legal stuff. I guess gets him. So I chatted with him a little bit, got the picture with him, got him to sign. We had this picture where he leaned to my chest like he was my manager, and I was like, whoa, okay, that's not. He didn't do that, and he was like, that's gonna come out great, I know. And I've been fortunate that almost everyone that I wanted to meet has been gracious to me. So thank God. And got that stuff. Went back to the hotel because the hotel was a couple of buildings away. In the same block as put the Heyman stuff back in. Got out the other stuff. Met my friend there who was from Kuwait in the hotel. Was also going to meet Goldberg. So we met together. Hustled to, I think we Ubered to Axis because we were running out of time. Got in line for Goldberg. I met Goldberg, and I think I met Pete at Axis, who you were supposed to meet Goldberg, but then something happened.
Yeah, they'd sold me a dodgy ticket. Basically, they'd sold me a general access ticket, but put Goldberg's name on it. I did get my money back, by the way.
Yeah.
But, I would have liked to have met Goldberg, even though he's a prick, but, it's just one of them, ain't it?
He's not a prick to the fans, though.
Well, when Ollie met him, he had him sign his World Heavyweight belt, and, they ask you where to sign, like, where would you like him to sign, because of, obviously, multiple autographs. Yeah. And he says, oh, can you get him to sign there, just in that little section? And he didn't listen to him, and he just signed this gigantic autograph. So he couldn't get any more autographs on that side of the belt. So he was a bit annoyed with him. But it's just one of them.
But was that on Goldberg or was it on the handler, though?
I believe it was Goldberg. The lady told him where to sign, in the area, but he just took up the entire space.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I guess it kind of. I mean, it's not Shawn Michaels, signing over Bret Hart's autograph at WrestleCon.
No.
But that's... Yeah. Anyway, so I meet Goldberg. Exit Access didn't even see anything about it. Like, did not try to take in a lot of access or anything. And just crossed the street into the Super Show. Meanwhile, Joe is messaging me, telling me the Pentagon has already gone on, and it crushed me.
Oh, yeah.
Because I had the Goldberg shirt and I had the Pentagon vest over it, so I was like, oh, well. Anyway. Across the street, just as, Joey Ryan is talking to everyone and Jerry Lawler's music plays, and that was a great show.
Which also, we had, Walter was totally loving Joey Ryan the entire weekend.
Absolutely loved Joey Ryan's gimmick, Joey Ryan as a wrestler, everything. I think it's important to Walter himself that we tell people how much he loves this guy and how much he actually, was into the whole dick grabbing shtick that Joey Ryan was doing. And
this is a shoot. He was legit loving it that entire weekend.
He might deny it now. I mean, apparently, I don't know why he would. I mean, like, he loved what he loved, but he did actually love it.
He did. I sat at 5 shows with him, whatever it was, and yeah, he was totally on board with Joey Ryan.
He was chanting the whole, so big, so strong, and touch his dick thing.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but again, like Jerry Lawler, only in pro wrestling can you. How do you even explain this to someone who has not watched pro wrestling before? Well, Jerry, he told him to touch his dick, and Lawler just, gets down to... He has a crown in his hand, you see. And he gets down to one knee, and he just shoots a fireball out of it onto Joe's dick. It's like...
And, one thing that sticks out from New Orleans also, at the Revolver show, when... match of like Teddy Hart, we were chanting WSX or Wrestling Society X, and Kevin Kleinrock was in attendance, who used to run Wrestling Society X. Now he runs Mass Republic.
Yeah,
he walked up to Walter and I, and this other guy who was there, Chris Bryan, who was also joining on the chants, and he was just like saying how amazed he was that people were actually talking about Wrestling Society X, and took a picture with us and Josh Gomez. We have a picture with all of us in there, and the dude was just like so humble that people were actually talking about the creation of his from almost a decade prior. Just really cool, and just shows people you can run into indie shows. I just be people who are also fans themselves, like Kaden Carter. She sat in front of us at the Wildcat show. She was literally right in front of us the entire time. So that was kind of a cool thing that she were attendance. She's obviously improved a hell of a lot since then in the ring. Mohammed's maybe not agreeing, which maybe I'm not agreeing with myself either on that one.
I haven't seen her before, so she might have been. Maybe she was just walking around the ring. Oh, okay. Just a second, guys. The microphone is fell. You guys, can you hear me? Hello.
Yeah. Mic drops.
Yeah. Look. Wow. And what else? What other shows? Next day, I think I booked a show on every day of the I remember. Pete, do you remember when we went to Axis and we actually sat for the NXT show?
Say that again, Mo, sorry.
Remember when we went to Axis and we sat at the ring for the NXT shows? Like we were just sitting there, Yumi and Ollie, and I was like, you know what, this is good, because the one thing that this match that this weekend was missing was more wrestling. We needed.
Yeah. Didn't we get a Daniel Bryan promo in that as well?
They had an interview with Daniel Bryan who was making his comeback.
Yeah.
And they had the guy who, I don't know, Matha or something, the guy who, Samoa Joe, who ruined his debut. Come out, and the guy was like talking, and I was like, wait, this is the guy that Samoa Joe destroyed because, I think it was Dan Math or something like that. And Dan Math usually does a lot of the WrestleCon circuits. Oh, yeah, I forgot. And if you remember that WrestleCon also, it was so how great was it, Joe, that Tanahashi and Suzuki were on there. Yeah, they were big.
That was a great super show. They had a lot of New Japan talent on there. Yeah.
MGF was on there.
I remember MGF was there.
MGF
MGF was at a few shows that weekend.
Yeah. And I remember MGF was not like a hot commodity still. He was not really known, but I think
because this is still pre-MLW.
Yeah. I didn't know him going into WrestleCon. I think Joe didn't. You didn't know him going into WrestleCon.
I didn't know him. He actually wrestled at WrestlePro the year prior, but I didn't really remember him that night. Mainly because he didn't really have a lot of mic work or anything. It's just this is just some indie guy who was brought in here by Pat Buck. Fast forward a year later, dude goes from here to here, and it's wow, this guy's not even signed with a major company yet. Well, I guess he was technically signed with MLW at the time, but still, he left a huge impression on you, myself, Walter.
Yeah, he just,
it was amazing.
He grabbed the mic, and it was a 10-person, 5 men versus 5 women, Pete. And he made that stuff believable. He made you hate him, and he would do these comedic things, but they did not, they weren't a mocker of the business, but he was that guy who's a classic old school wrestling villain. That's how he could.
Yes.
And
I remember I really fucked up Flip Gordon for the night because it was supposed to be
best friends versus
lovers versus best friends. Then when Trent couldn't make it, I was like, oh, you know what? they do stuff with chaos. It's gonna be Golden Lovers versus Chuck and Okada, and everyone in the section that we were sitting in was like, "Oh my god, he's right! It's gonna be Okada and Omega are gonna be in a tag team match in the main event tonight." As soon as it was revealed to be Flip Gordon, like, people were fucking pissed, and I was like, man, I didn't mean to do that to Flip Gordon, but I was like telling her, because it was like, because Walter and I met like 6 dudes outside, and they decided all sit with us, and like we were all talking and everything, and kind of word just spread on the stands that we were standing on. And it's like, it's gonna be Okada, and it's like well, sorry, Flip. It's like, if my section was booing the hell out of you, it's only because you're not Okada. It's not because they hated you for any personal things that you've actually said about things 2 years before you actually wound up saying them.
Yeah. It was a great show. And next day, I remember, like, the Hall of Fame. Again, I double booked the Hall of Fame and Lucha Underground versus Impact. And if you remember, Joe, we were actually thinking about doing something outside of wrestling on that same night as well.
Room?
Yes, where they had a screening of the Room, and oh god, why am I blanking on his name? What's the guy?
Tommy Wiseau?
Yeah, Tommy
Wiseau.
Yeah, Tommy Wiseau was going to be there, and we were like, oh, this would be good. We could actually meet Tommy Wiseau, but then put Lucha Underground versus Impact on that scene. We were like, we're not going to miss Lucha.
We're going to be able to. Yeah, exactly.
It's going to be it's going to be our only chance to actually see a Lucha Underground show without going to the California for the Temple, which never happened afterwards. So this was. And I remember, like, this is the first time I actually go to the Hall of Fame and not see it all the way through to the end. I was like, this is taking forever, and I'm looking at my watch, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going. I gotta go. I cannot miss Pentagon on 2 shows. Like,
right.
and I got there. Of course, Pete was there with Ollie, but the PTA had to leave. He left right after I got there, I think.
I remember that, yeah.
It was late anyway to the show.
Yeah. I remember Eli Drake cut a great promo on Lucha Underground saying, like, do you guys talk about a company that has not run shows in I don't know how many weeks and so forth. And that was a great show. And then I remember after Lucha Underground versus Impact, you, me, Walter, and Josh, we just walked all the way back to the French Quarter there, and then came back, and then great night. And I remember, like, first, like, official MBS meeting at Axis. Remember the Superstore signing?
Yeah.
Everyone just, kind of showed up, and then, it kept accumulating where people would come up. It was like, first time it was me, Troyan, and Jared. We were waiting in line to meet Rusev. And then you and Josh came along, and then Tony came along, and it was like a big reunion. Like I believe, like, the best thing about New Orleans thing was like it was so close that the people could actually make time to meet and hang out.
Exactly.
And that was awesome. What other show? I think I went to the Crash with you guys, but I just got there halfway through. This happened.
You went to the Crash.
Yeah.
Because I remember we were doing dueling Reese and Pentachance there, and we were doing them at the actual Impact Lucha Underground show because they had matches at both shows together.
Yeah, they had Austin Aries actually beat Penta at the Crash, and then Penta won the triple threat at Lucha Underground. And do you guys remember when we finished Takeover and we walked to the Sugar Mill to watch?
It's hardcore.
Watch House of Hardcore, and we were like in the front seat, and you and I got sprayed by Archer, the water.
Yeah. Yep. Killer Elite Squad was doing their whole trashing the crowd, spitting and spraying at the time. Walter was sitting right behind us.
Yeah, I remember. And when Jaden's and he's gone.
Oh,
and he's back again. The suspense is killing me. Oh. Yeah.
That WrestleMania isn't just about the actual cards anymore. That's actually about, meeting up with people, actually spending time and, discussing wrestling, just being around people. It's more about the people than the events nowadays.
Yeah. Couldn't agree more.
It is.
Couldn't agree more.
It's
like I don't think I'd have done as many manias as I have if I hadn't got you guys to meet up with. I'd have probably done maybe 30 and 31 and then probably just retired. But it's the experience you have with your friends that means the most.
Yeah, it became
you know what I mean? The wrestling comes second.
Yeah, you're looking forward to meeting your friends more than not as much. It's more about you don't want to miss the wrestling, but you still want to meet up with the guys. It's
right.
Because in our regular everyday circles, we don't have people that share the same passion for this crazy
absolutely
form of entertainment called wrestling. And that evolved into something deeper. I don't want people to hear this and think that we're only friends because we enjoy wrestling together, because our relationships have evolved past that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we're now in each other's lives, so that's kind of it's a big thing. And that's why 34 was great, because I was hanging out with all. You guys remember we Monday morning, was it Monday or Tuesday morning, where we went to the movie?
That was Monday.
Monday, right?
For yep.
Yeah, we went to see Blockers starring John Cena.
Yeah.
In the theater, and that theater closed down. The one in the
inside the mall.
Oh yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
Because Pete and I met first there, because I was eating a shrimp po' boy, and I met up with Pete, and then so when you and Josh then you showed up, then Josh showed up after that, but we went to Blockers there.
Yeah.
Good times, man.
Good movie, but we had a good time because we were watching it together.
Yeah.
I remember, that morning. You remember Monday morning? What they did was they took us to a Mardi Gras, fest, Mardi Gras factory, where they make the masks and floats, and we got a tour, and we met Mark Henry and Natalia there. And as a bonus, everyone got to make a mask, Mardi Gras mask.
Oh, cool.
And hold on one second.
Long seconds
is killing me.
Here it is.
You guys miss me?
Yeah.
I prepared this for the show and tell, but anyway, a friend of mine made one that's had WrestleMania and just Taker's mask thing on it. They give you just this gray mask, and you just you put on glitter, you can put on rhinestones, you can add feathers. And I made this bad boy right here. You can see.
Lower down a bit.
Yeah, drop it a bit. There you go.
Yeah, okay. And you guys can see here with the rhinestones, they make the Undertaker symbol.
Oh, that's cool.
On it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna send you a picture where it's a lot clearer, and the black and.
Yeah, the light's reflecting on it a lot.
Okay.
Oh, there we go.
Better?
Seeing it a little bit better there.
Okay. Down a bit.
Yeah.
Oh, yep.
Yeah, I can see it
You can
now.
see Undertaker symbol. It's purple and black, and it's one of my finest creations.
Yeah.
I like this a lot. I haven't worn it too much. Maybe I should finish the broadcast wearing it. How do I look?
Matches your shirt.
It does.
Yeah.
Right now we are at almost 4.5 hours.
Yeah, this match,
any last
this podcast is almost as long as
New Orleans
WrestleMania.
thoughts?
New Orleans? I'm just gonna say I love that city. I think a lot of people didn't like it that it hosted WrestleMania 5 years apart or 4 years apart. I think WWE should go back there for WrestleMania every 3 to 4 years.
Yeah, agreed.
Thank you for joining us on the Outlaw Macho Driving. If you like that video, please click like and subscribe to our channel for more content from the drive-in. For full episodes of our podcast, you may look us up on Anchor, Spotify, or wherever your favorite podcasts are available. Just search for Outlaw Macho Driving. And if it's not too much trouble, would you help us out here? Spread the word, share. We would really appreciate it. Thank you. We love you. Bye.